and welcome to Leadership 4. Today we're going to be looking at values. So without further ado, I'm Jackie Huntley from Public Speaking and Leadership Academy. Let's move forward. And I hope you enjoy. I've had a little bit of a play with the PowerPoints, as you can see. Getting very technical now, they're moving. Okay, so let's look at values. And before we do, let's have a quick recap of what we've done so far. So we have built a mission statement and we've built a vision statement. So they're all done and dusted. So the foundation of the house and the roof of the house have actually been built. Now it's time to move into the next part of our plan, which is our values. And these values lay directly underneath your vision statement. So they literally, where the roof of the house is, they are the next layer down. So values are a surprisingly important part of any strategy, and certainly your strategy for whatever you are building. And remember that everything that we're doing is a framework. We're building a framework. So if you look at what we're actually trying to achieve is a framework to be able to do anything in. So if you want to make a cup of tea, if you want to build a business, if you want to design something, if you want to even build a PowerPoint, if you want to write a book, even write a speech, you stay within a framework. So what we've done is we've looked at strategic planning and developed a framework that you can stay within. No matter what you do in your public speaking career, you will be able to manipulate this to keep you inside some good guidelines that stop you overspilling and stretching yourself too wide and then not being able to complete the task that you actually set. So this is what this is all about. So these guide you how you want your people to behave as they go about executing your plan. So values are really important. So they guide you to how you need to behave, or how you want your people to behave, or about anybody within inside this plan, so they know exactly what you mean and where you're going. Okay, it gives direction and it gives focus and it builds a framework. So that's what we're doing when we're adding values to your plan. So the first thing you need to know your customers, colleagues, what are you using? If you're going to make a cup of tea, right, it doesn't just stop at cup of tea. So you need to know a bit more. You need to know whether you're using loose leaf tea bags, or whether you're going to be really arty and crafty and use herbal teas. So, and there are thousands of herbal teas, and there are groups of herbal teas that need 60 minutes in boiling water. There's groups of herbal teas that need 50-degree boiling water. You can't go to 60 or you ruin the flavour or the taste, or you burn the tea. So just like coffee, there are certain things that you can and can't do. So again, it's a framework that you work within so that everybody knows what to do when they're actually making a herbal tea, or making a cup of tea with a tea bag, or making a cup of tea with loose leaf tea. So you are creating a structured program for them to follow. It's almost like building policy and procedures, really, but without these are actually more flexible, and obviously you design them the way you want these to work. So you're going to do a lot of manipulating with these. So they're not, it's a framework. It's not 100% you will follow this, but ultimately the whole thing is that it holds you in place and stops you deviating off and not being able to achieve what you said you'd achieve. Okay, so company values are sometimes viewed as superfluous, and in many cases employees and customers alike dismiss them as mere marketing gimmicks, and that's the problem. A lot of values, values are really, really important. You're going to see that by the end of this. But what you have to look at is when we say superfluous, we actually mean that, they're almost like the bribery of your advertising. You know, we value our customers. No, you don't. You know, we make sure our products are the best, and they're all shipped over from China. You know, so a lot of the times your values do not match up. And so one of the things that you really need to do is, if you write down a value, it must be a value, right? These are very, very important, and they're not a gimmick. And don't treat them as a marketing gimmick, and don't ever just write down a load of values just for the sheer sake of writing them down. These must be heartfelt from you, or this doesn't work. This is a framework for you to be aligned with your vision, and literally it just propels you forward into that vision and makes you successful. Okay, so I'm hoping that that point's got through. It's really, really important that you don't take these lightly. Okay, so we've created our vision. We've now going to create these values underneath, and then the last part of the house that we're actually going to do is to put some glass windows under that, which are your focused areas. These are focused areas. These are your bedrooms and your bathroom, whatever, upstairs. So focused areas and values are two of the things that basically allow the upper floors of this house to work. And the house can constantly change on the ground floor, but this top floor technically never changes. So once you have got a mission statement and a vision statement, your values and your focused areas and your objectives, which actually hold the upper floor up, they're in place, then they stay in place. And really and truthfully, it's the doors and windows underneath are the things that are going to constantly change. And you'll see that as we go on. So what I want you to do is I want you to be very, very specific about these values and focus areas, because these are not going to change. But today we're just going to be looking at our value areas. So again, like I'm saying, our view of values is very different. We see values as a critical part of the strategic planning process, and the reason being that they go right into the heart of the most important ingredient of your strategy. Your people, customer, member, tribes, or colleagues, it's them that you are trying to serve. And by utilizing these values, that's what this does. And if you don't serve your people, customers, members, tribes, or colleagues, then you are doing an injustice, and this will not work, and you will never achieve your vision. Okay, so which values do you use then? So try using reflections on the things about you and your business ideas that are already great. Okay, things that you're doing now within your business or within your daily life, or things that are true to you. Okay, because you might not have a business yet. You might not have a plan. You don't know direction. Just think of what you value yourself and how you would like to be treated, and that will help you create the reflection that you need to be able to say, well, what do I accept? What's gimmicky to me? What's not? Okay, these values, in fact, should already exist, and you'll find most of the time your values, when you write these down, they will exist. And I'm going to give you loads of ideas, so it's not a problem. Therefore, you are extracting the ones that you want to solidify and amplify and that are heartfelt to you. Okay, this is what you're going to be doing. So, two types of values, external and internal. Internal values are almost always more powerful for helping you to execute a plan than external ones. So the external ones are, we love our customers, we open doors for our customers, we serve our customers and utilize the best products, and then you find that they don't at all. So external values are actually, can be manipulated into that gimmicky side and to be persuasive, and really and truthfully, they're pack of lies. So it's really, really important when you're talking about internal values, talking about your heartfelt feelings, your emotions, which is a lot more than just a fact of what you're doing or selling. Okay. Why is this so important? Because none of these things relate to human values. Okay, so external values are all external. Like I said before, they all relate to things like how you're going to serve your customer, what you're going to serve, what products you're going to serve, where you got them from. They don't relate to anything external. And the one thing that we want is internal values that relate to heartfelt feelings and emotions. So let's look at our values. So this is public speaking and leadership. This is our values. So we're going to look at page 1 of the sheets that I sent you down. Okay, so if you have a look at the sheets, now if you're coming into this off YouTube or whatever, you're not going to have these available, but obviously our members, if you join us and you come over as a member, this is one of the worksheets that you'll actually get. There's a couple of worksheets for this one, but these worksheets you get, and so you can actually work through this. So look at page 1 and you'll see it says choose 4 or 5 things below that are important to you as an organization or a business or as a person or whatever. You choose your stuff. Try to limit your selection to only to the most important things which you value or which your organization is going to value, or your business or whatever. Okay, so you're going to have to manipulate these words to make them work for you. So is what you're going to do creative, customer focus, truth and respect, teamwork, compassion, drive, adventure, competence, community and spirituality, fun, learning and competitive? For us, it was actually truth and respect, believe it or not. So we looked at, for us in all of these, the only thing that we really wanted to focus on this particular one was actually truth and respect. Now, you'll see that you've got a lot of pages to go through, but what I want you to do is to pick out your top one, which for us was truth and respect, and then pick out 3 more if you can. So for us, it was, again, we had learning because we want to do training. We had creativity because that's really important for us. That's how we get innovation. That's how we motivate. So that's really, really important. And we looked at customer focus because our membership will not grow if they don't like what we do. And the only other one that we would have put in there, so we've got creativity, teamwork, truth and respect, customer focus, and learning, haven't we? We've got, creativity, truth and respect, learning and customer focus. That's right. So those are our 4. The only other one we would have put in would have been a financial one, and that's not there, for a reason. So so don't look for that one. Okay, so once you've got those 4, tick them off, or whatever your 4 are, and then we're going to look at some scenarios of those visions. So you've picked those up as your values, and then you have to ask yourself, why do we have those values, and why would we share those values? So do we share values with other people, and would we be happy to share the values that we've selected? Okay, and cross out any that, so if you put if you work with more than 1 or 2 people, or go and ask your family and just ask them if they had a value of creativity, how would they prove that they had creativity? And one person might say, I would prove I had creativity because I can create websites. I can build websites. I've learned a skill and I can build websites. If they say that, I want you to cross out if it's a technical skill. So already that one's gone, okay? So if they've actually had to learn a skill to do this, then that's not an internal value. So it's got to be heartfelt or an emotion. Okay, so technical skills are out. What else is out? Anything related to knowledge or experience. Okay, it's not an emotion, it's not heartfelt, so it's an external value. All right. Related to intellect or intelligence. Again, no, absolutely not. It's got to be an emotional or a heartfelt value, and they do not come from you being intelligent or having intellect. Okay, so again, why? Because whilst important, none of these things relate to human values, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, so what I've done is I put a whole load together. I've just put a whole load of words for you because it's really, really hard to put you on the spot and say, right now, go find some values that are heartfelt. So I've put things on here: curious, caring, candid, collaborative, caring, relentless, brave, love, honesty, capable, family, helpful, cheerful, thoughtful, fun, humble, selfless, enthusiastic, sharing, sensitive, enduring, generous, humble, confident. So there are lots and lots. But if I put you on the spot and say, right now, go find some emotional values, I can tell you there's like nothing in your head except, oh, I can build a website. So it's quite funny because these are things that are emotional, and they're a part of you. They're not something you think about. So that's why I've put that list up there to give you a hand. So use that list and see if you can create. So for us, like our one was creativity. Okay, and we wanted creativity in the fact that we would put a value down as innovative or say empowerment. So if we have a look in here somewhere, hopefully we will see I think that's inventive, which is sort of the same thing, and it's inquisitive, focused, community minded. So in here somewhere should be, hopefully we should find a word, and I cannot see it in there, so it might be another one. Empowerment. Okay, we could say, oh, what else would we put here? There should be empowerment in here, but if it's not in here, I've just given you another one, so I can add another one. So otherwise, empowerment, you could say a few words. You could say determined, thoughtful, enthusiastic, sharing, confident. I think confident is in here somewhere. So you can see how it goes. Okay, so now once you've done that, what you can do is get some people in your household to actually write down on that first sheet, write down their 4 things. So you've got a few people that you can work with, and then what you can do is you run a little experiment. You can see how many of the values that you would write down that would cross over with their values. So if we have a look at this graph, so if you look, we've taken out everything that needed some technical skills. So writing, intelligence, coding is a skill, intelligence. So intelligence was a lot in here. So if you have a look, you've got ambitious. Only one person was ambitious. Passionate though, look, everybody got passion. Everybody was passionate, which is amazing. Honesty, look at this. Look, 4 people got honesty and 1 didn't, because 1 probably, and again for Tom, I reckon if you asked him why honesty wasn't there, it's because he would say, well, that's a value I have as you know, like I say to you, you will not, if I put you on the spot and ask you for emotional values, you can't tell me what they are. So I reckon he probably got caught out here, because honesty is just something he does, and so he wouldn't class it as a value. It's a normal thing that you would do every day. And you can see here curious, but curious comes up quite often as well. Everybody's got curious. So you can actually find links between these things and between people, and this is good to actually find a run if you can. So if you can go and experiment with that sheet 1, go and take it out, put it out to a couple of your friends or your family, and see what values, emotional values, you all carry with you, because this will actually guide you to the thinking and ability of the team that you might create in the future. So you get there's another side to values. So it's pretty cool when you start to play about with these things and you start to see patterns develop. Okay, so what themes can you pick out from the process, and will these be the same things you look for in new people? I'm just going to go back to that, and don't forget to cross out anything that relates to hard skills, personality or intelligence, because we don't want those things on our values. So you want to make sure that they make sense in a business capacity, and you can do this by applying 2 tests to each of the values. So we're going to learn 2 tests now. And the first test is you have to say to yourself, why do we believe in this? And the second is, how would we bring this to life across our business organization or project that we're doing, or whatever we're doing? Okay. If you're able to answer both of these questions about the value, then you can add this to your values in your house. You can actually put those words as values under your roof. Okay, how many do you need? Well, I think I gave you 4 boxes, but you can have anything from 3 to 5. Once you go over 5, look, your vision, you're going to blur your vision, because there's going to be too many values. So you don't want too many emotional values. Some emotional values, like I said to you, empowerment can cover many values. Okay, so if you're empowered, you're confident, you're knowledgeable, you're humble at the same time, you're graceful, you can deliver, you can do all sorts of things. So empowerment can cover many. So you may find that you'll be able to put one word down as a value, but it may encompass lots of those different emotional feelings that I showed you on that list. And so you don't, if you can, try and find one word that will encompass, rather than have too many values, because otherwise you'll blow this out, you won't be able to cope. Okay, so here is an example of passion. So one of our values is passion. All right, so I've already spoken to you about empowerment. We're going to pick on passion, which is another value for us as public speaking. So why do we believe that our value is passion? And that is because we're a small but growing community. The strongest trait that our academy promotes to achieve success is self-motivated people. Do you think that is our avatar? Isn't that weird? If you don't know how to get to your avatar, just do this strategic planning framework, build this little house, and your avatar will pop up. It's amazing. The 3 most important drivers of this are: our members must have a passion for what they do, the ability to genuinely enjoy their work and embrace it as a positive aspect of their life, and it must lead them to make a living out of their passion. So hopefully we are encouraging people who want to be public speakers or seen in the public eye, or are absolutely terrified of being in the public eye, and then may have got thrusted into a management position. Now they have to do presentations, or they just want some leadership skills. These are people who will become passionate This will be their passion, and in the future it will be it will lead them to make a career or a living out of this passion. Okay, so second question, how do we bring it to life across our academy? How do we actually do this? So we encourage and fully allow all our members to discover and work with tools and technologies they want to learn. We give and teach them how to use the tools and technology so they can choose which one suits their needs. Now, it's quite funny actually, because Jan and I were talking, and we were looking at, my framework is a house. I've just built a house because I think, well, everybody knows what a house is. But it's quite funny because you can actually build this as an umbrella. You don't have to build it as a house. You can have the umbrella as basically the vision. So the top of the umbrella as the vision, and your mission can actually be the handle of the umbrella, because without the handle the umbrella doesn't open or close. It can't go up or down, so it has to have a handle, and you need something to hold it. So that's the foundation of an umbrella. And then when you look at your vision, your mission, well, what's an umbrella for? It's to protect you from rain. So let's have a look at rain. Rain is you could class rain as a value. It's an emotion. It's cold, it's wet, it's miserable, it makes you sad, it's depressing. So you can actually say, well, when it rains I have emotions, and those emotions are my values, so you can see how you can relate it. And then you can say, well, next bit, what happens if it's snowing? Well, you could focus. Oh my god, I got to focus. I don't slip over. I don't get caught out in the snow, or nobody throws a snowball at me and makes me freezing cold. So there's all sorts of things you can do, even to the next stage, which we looked at was what have we got? We've got values, focus, and your objectives. So your objectives can be, it could be that you're using your umbrella and it's very foggy, so it's not clear, and objectives are sometimes not clear. So you could do the fog as objective, and then you could say, and occasionally you could get hit by hail. And I'll tell you what, if you think of focused areas as hail, if you can think of your focus as hail or snow, I can tell you, you're either going to slip over or you don't want to get hit by one of those things, because that really is going to hurt and that will make you focus. So there's lots of things you can do. You don't have to think of this as a house. I'm asking you to do it as a house because it's just easier for our purposes. But you can use an umbrella, you can use anything, and it's quite funny, but you can actually create some funny things with an umbrella, because you can say, no matter what the weather is, you'll be covered. So there's lots of things you can do to remember it. Okay, so as you can see, we encourage fully to allow all members to discover and work with tools. These are the tools and technologies that they want to learn. And we give these and teach them, and then basically through that you or our members can choose which one suits their needs. And there is never anything that is wrong or not allowed or shouldn't be done. Everything is open. So we empower members or people or you or them to implement the process or techniques people wish to try, and research new ways of doing things. There is always a better way or a different way, and so we empower you to try out stuff. We teach people, you to evaluate and embrace feedback, to empower you to realize your hidden ability and self-improvement. That is one of the things that we really are passionate about here, that you realize that you have hidden abilities that you have never utilized or even knew you had, and you can actually see that self-improvement in yourself. So, how dynamic is that? And we allow you to change your mind, and we never rebuke failure. Failure is a must. Failure is a learning technique, and you do not learn if you never fail. So there is no problem with failing here, which is absolutely brilliant. That's why it's so safe within the Public Speaking and Leadership Academy to gain these skills. As you can see, like, we're really passionate about this and that's where our passion comes from. So you can see that when you're talking about your values start to mean something, and they're heartfelt and they're emotional values. And this makes these very, very internal to your business and very close to your heart. And they will become close to anybody who comes in with you who can share those values. So this is really, really important that you get this right. And you do not ever just chuck words down on a piece of paper just because you need to be seen to seemingly have some values. They must be meaningful, and you must be able to say why they're there. Okay, so what I've done now is I've given you 12 boxes. You've got 12 boxes, okay, to go through, and each box has a title. So box 1 is creativity, customer focus. Box 2, truth and respect, teamwork, compassion, drive, adventure, competence, community spirit, fun, learning, competitive. So can you see that they were all the first things that you chose? So you chose 3 or 4 things, and you can just go back and have a look at them. So for us, it was creativity. And what I've done is I've given you a description. So I've given you some words in creativity. So we've got original, mysterious, inventive, inspirational, inquisitive, imaginative, individual, fresh, dreamers, curious, creative, value, or rather, value is the is the actual words below. And then I've given you a description of those words. So creative, delivering results in new, interesting ways. And so can you see that when I said to you, you've got to answer those 2 questions, this gives you some description of the word that you're actually going to class as a value, a description for you to be able to work out exactly what you want to say and how you want to say it. Okay, so I want you to go through and I want you to pull up, so you know that you're going to use creativity, but what value in creativity are you going to use? So now we're actually getting into the nitty-gritty of the value. Okay, so and then for us, so it's creativity, we had customer focus, and you can see we have caring, love, service, devotion, understanding, accessible, friendly, ethical, hospitable, helpful, and fair. And if you look, we primarily care about the needs of our customers. We love the people whom we serve. Our purpose is to fill the needs of our customers. We are devoted to our customers no matter what it takes. We understand the needs of our customers. Can you see? So you'll be able, it just gives you that sort of foundational kickoff to be able to explain what you want your values to mean. So that's, I want you to go through these boxes. Okay, there's 12 of them. You can, and you don't have to stick to the words that you first use. You may find in here when you get to the descriptions that there's better descriptions. So what I want you to do is I want you to take each of those values that you chose, okay, and then I want you to answer the 2 questions. So we're going to do value 1, write it down what it is, what heading it comes under, and then I want you to really fill in the sentence or answer the question. I or we believe in this because, and I or we will bring this to life by. Okay, this is how we're gonna portray our heartfelt emotion into our business. All right, so this is going to bring meaning and feeling into your values, and your values are literally going to launch you into the vision that you've written. So this is, the whole thing is like it might be a house, but think of it as a rocket ship going up. Literally, this is how you cannot fail if you stay true to your values. Your vision is is gonna, if you wish, it's gonna happen. Okay, so do that for value 2, 3, and however many values you want to do. And when you've done it, I want you to put it together. I want you to draw you've got the foundation, you've got the roof, and I want you to put the 4 boxes underneath your roof and have those ready for your next session. Hope that was really good. Hope you can see the possibilities of having emotional values and values that are tied to your vision, because when we come to do the focused areas, you're going to tie those focused areas into those values as well. So I look forward to seeing you next time. You take care, and we will catch you in the next leadership program. Thank you.